We have had a very strong week of wrestling. What's up, wrestling fans? My name is Aaron, and this is Wrestling by Waldridge. Before we get into a new episode of my top 5 wrestling matches of the week, if you enjoy this video, guys, please remember to subscribe. It helps me out so much, and we're on the road to 350 subs. So, to kick things off, the Irish Ace Jordan Devlin versus A-Kid from NXT UK. This was a battle of who could dictate the tempo and a battle between two contrasting strategies. Devlin brought the tempo down and focused on A-Kid's back, whilst A-Kid looked to quicken the pace with his fearsome striking ability. He attempted a number of submission holds and primarily went after Devlin's left arm with the intent of winning with the omoplata. However, as McGuinness pointed out, Devlin was always one step ahead. He showed great ring awareness to escape submission holds, showed his resourcefulness by using his surroundings as a weapon, and changed his game plan when it looked like he might lose control. And this was all illustrated in the final moments of the match when Devlin countered A-Kid on the outside of the ring. He then proceeds to dropkick the steel steps into A-Kid's leg, attempts a single leg Boston Crab, but A-Kid counters into the omoplata, but his leg gives out. Great psychology from A-Kid here, and this allows Devlin to wrench A-Kid's leg down into a horrible position. Seriously, it was sickening talk. Kid is forced to tap out in another fantastic finish from another solid NXT UK match. And then next up we head over to the main event of Monday Night Raw, where we saw a triple threat match between Drew McIntyre, AJ Styles, Randy Riddle in another Money in the Bank qualifying match. Drew was physically dominant here and acted like a man possessed, seeking redemption for his lack of success as of late, and this actually forced AJ and Riddle to team up on Drew. They nailed him with a double pump handle slam through the announce table. That was an awesome spot, and from here on we saw Riddle use a lot of Orton's moveset, which was a nice touch to continue on their story, whilst AJ portrayed the experienced veteran. And I thought AJ in particular demonstrated great psychology by going after Riddle's legs. It obviously nullifies his striking ability whilst setting up for the calf crusher as well, and he also adopted this game plan against Drew later on in the match, after Riddle had been sent to the back when he inadvertently kicked the steel steps, injuring his foot. However, he soon returned to the match to initiate an exciting finish, where strikes and submission holds were traded between all three men, but in the end Drew managed to catch Riddle with a claymore to pick up the big victory. Riddle did completely no-sell his injured foot after a couple of strikes before the finish, which wasn't great, but this was generally a really well worked match. Another great triple threat match in this year's books. And then we head over to the main event of AEW Dynamite this past Wednesday night, where there was a match between Sammy Guevara and MJF. This match told a great story of two contrasting styles colliding: the incredible aerial ability of Sammy Guevara against the cerebral intelligence of MJF. MJF demonstrated experience beyond his years, utilising classic heel tactics to obtain control and dictate the pace to counteract Sammy's agility. The selling was decent. I thought Max did a great job of selling his leg injury later on, but it could have been a lot better after some of the bigger moves in the match, such as the middle rope Spanish Fly and the springboard Canadian Destroyer. I thought both men could have milked those moves a little bit more, and I will never ever agree with a kick out from a second rope tombstone pile driver. It's just madness. However, the plethora of great near falls, the unpredictability of the match, as well as some of the excellent high spots, all made for a very exciting matchup. There was an incredible spot where Sammy hits a diving springboard somersault onto MJF over the freaking guardrail. Mental. I definitely could have done without the interferences, as it did disrupt the flow, and it did result in quite an underwhelming finish where Shawn Spears hit Sammy Guevara with a chair, allowing MJF to pick up the victory. But nevertheless, this was still a really great match, and MJF needs to wrestle more because he's really good. And then next up, last man standing match between Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn from Friday Night Smackdown in another Money in the Bank qualifier. This was certainly no technical masterpiece, there were no limbs worked on at all. It was a slugfest and a fight. Great psychology which only enhances the story of two bitter rivals going hell for leather on one another. I thought Zayn's selling was great throughout, and I thought Owens did a great job of selling his throat as well from the attack 2 weeks ago by Commander Aziz. The violence escalated quickly and there were some fantastic spots as well, the best of which saw Zayn push Owen over the turnbuckle into not one but 2 tables, which Owens set up earlier on. One could argue that this should have ended the match, but for me, Owens hadn't taken that much offense up until this point, so I thought it was fine. And for a last man standing match, this was really well paced. The counts never seemed overbearing and were spaced out nicely. Zayn thought he would deliver karmic justice upon Owens, but it backfired, which Owens pointed out right before he nailed Sami with 3 huge pop-up power bombs. One through the announce table, one through another table, and then in an excellent callback from their very first interaction from NXT, a power bomb onto the ring apron. Sami can't get to his feet, and that is all she wrote. An awesome finish to a very fun match. And lastly, the main event from Saturday Night Dynamite, Kenny Omega versus Jungle Boy for the AEW World title. And there's no doubt about it, Jungle Boy is over. The crowd absolutely loved him and was so hot for this match. Kenny Omega played the arrogant champion who underestimated his young opponent. Jungle Boy was definitely the underdog here, but did prove that he could be considered as a legitimate contender for the world title, as well as main event any show. Kenny found it difficult to gain any sort of momentum in this match, as Jungle Boy remained competitive and always had an answer for Kenny's offense, and the tempo was excellent. Kenny worked at a slower pace, which would pick up when Jungle Boy countered, and as the match reached its climax, Kenny managed several close near falls, but was foiled each time by the heart and resilience of Jungle Boy, who, despite the expected outcome, did actually enjoy some close near falls of his own. The second snare trap submission tease was great especially, but after one last kick out from Jungle Boy, Kenny Omega managed to retain with the one winged angel. I really enjoyed this finish, and this was just another great television match. And I think Jungle Boy is definitely repaying the faith that AEW are clearly showing in him. But that was my top 5 wrestling matches of the week. As always guys, let me know in the comment section down below what your favourite match of the week was, or if you agree or disagree with my selections. If you enjoyed the video guys, like I said before, please subscribe, it means so much to me. You can follow me on Twitter at WrestlingByW. Please give this video a thumbs up, give it a share, hit that notification bell to be notified when I release new videos. Hopefully I should have my 2nd episode of Legacy Sessions out this week. I hope you all enjoy your week guys, and I shall see you all next time. Bye bye.